Hello, happy Wednesday. It is July 22, and we're here to do day number 22 for our Christmas in July. Hi, I am Brenda Sellers, and thank you for coming to see what we're working on tonight. We're going to play with some more paper pieces. You know, when you're cutting patterned paper or any kind of paper and you're making cards, you always have some little ones left. So we're going to play with some of that tonight, and we're going to make a different kind of card front because um, last night, the one that we played with, I was really like, I want to make some more. And then I saw other pieces left and it's like, well, let's do that. So we're going to play with some more um, patterned paper and make another card. So let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Ready? I see somebody watching. Hello, thank you for coming tonight. This is what we're starting with. We're going to use this sentiment and probably that for the inside. And I've already used the die cut for the sentiment, so I don't have to get up. All right, we're going to start with our card base. It is Secret C, 5.5, 8.5, scored at 4.25. Just go ahead and fold that and let it take up less real estate on the card on the desk. I'm going to start with this piece of basic white, and then we're going to bring in our little strippy pieces that are laying over here. So I'm just going to play with our liquid glue tonight because it's going to be a little easier. Put a little smear. And you can piece your card front however you want. These are the pieces that I chose, and liquid glue helps you wiggle them around a little bit easier. Now that piece looks like it's cut crooked. I promise you it may or may not be, but I don't think it is. And then we're going to put this one on. And then we got a teeny tiny one to fill in this space over here. So you can play with any size pieces that you want to play with. And these are all from a Stitched Season Designer Series paper pack. Ooh, that piece was pretty. I just put glue on it. That's what we do. I think paper crafters and quilters are about the only two people who cut things apart just to put them back together. What are your thoughts on that? Hello, friends. We're just piecing us a little quilt together here. All right, there's our card front. So we're going to scoot it up here and let it sit for a minute. This is another piece that is 4 by 5.25. We're going to stamp the corners so that our insides are going to be pretty too. And if you've been following along with the Christmas in July, you kind of know that I adore this stamp. Try not to get my head in the way. And one more corner. There we go. And while we've got our ink open, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. I'm going to sometimes I try not to be OCD or try not to make it be exactly perfect, but with these grid lines, it's kind of hard not to. You don't have to put it on I put this on the grids, and then I can line up my grids on my little piece from the stamp positioner tool with the grids on my grid mat, on my glass mat, and then I know that my stamp is straight. And I found I kind of like that. So the little part of me that might be a little OCD about things is loving having that lined up. All right, we are done stamping. So we're going to put a lid on our real red ink. And now let's assemble the card. So let's add some adhesive here. A little more than some people use, but humidity can make our adhesive not work very well. All right, there's that. I'm going to make this larger square be the bottom, and then I'm going to add some ribbon and our sentiment. I want it like, nope, it's going to be at the bottom. Feels like it's kind of weighted, right? I hope that you guys are enjoying this series. I'm loving doing it. All right, let's add a bow similar to what we did last night because that was so fun to make. Let's see, about that much. And then trim it. And let's put some, where do we want our sentiment? Let's do it there so that we can see part of that block and still the top of that one. All right. So adhesive goes right here for our bow. And we're making a faux bow. We're not tying anything for my friends who say they can't tie bows. And I'm saying you can tie a bow, just like I'm tying a bow. Teaser. And then actually, come on, twist. No, it doesn't want to. It wants to go just like that. All right. Back. Let's get a glue dot. And we'll trim that one again because we don't want it sticking up above the sentiment. Hi, Adrian. You're doing well tonight. Let's trim it. And that way our bow will be hidden behind label. Like so. Dimensionals. One in each corner. And the middle will fit right over the bulk of the ribbon. I know that the paper had a quilt-like pattern to it anyway, but this gives it a whole different view or a different perspective on all of that. Squeeze it down a little bit, and there we go. And we are going to add a couple of buttons. Let's do red. Let's put one right here. And let's put them in this. Actually, here and in. plum cake looking color. All right, there is our card. How about that? Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and come back tomorrow to see what kind of card that lends itself to. Stop the screen share. Where is that? Hidden. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, and I will see you on the next video. Merry Christmas and July. Bye for now.